The next thing we'll do is create a connection to a database. Let's say you have a SQL Server database that you want to use within your application. Normally, you'd have to perform some setup and then write some code to make the connection. Server Explorer lets you make the connection without writing a single line of code. Let's see how we can do that. Go ahead and scroll up to the top of your Server Explorer. You can see a Data Connections node. If you right-click on that, you can go ahead and add a new connection. Select the Add Connection option. This brings up the Add Connection dialog box. Here you can go ahead and type in a server name that you have access rights to, and then select a database that belongs on that server. In this case, we'll go ahead and type in a server name. Note that your server name may differ from the one that I'm using here. Just use your computer name or a name of a computer that you wish to connect to. Now that I have a server name, I'm going to go ahead and set up authentication. Because I know that the logged in user has rights to the SQL Server database, it's safe for me to use Windows Authentication. Once I've selected my authentication, I can go ahead and select a database name. Go ahead and use the drop-down box to select a database. In this case, we're going to use the Northwind database, so I'll go ahead and select that. It's a good idea to test the connection before you continue. Select the Test Connection button. As I can see, the connection was successful. I'll click OK, and OK again to go ahead and have that connection added to my Server Explorer. Now you can see the connection added to the Server Explorer. If I drill down into that connection, I can look at some properties that I have available for my Northwind database. Go ahead and drill down. As you can see, you have database diagrams, which are entity relationship diagrams. You have tables. You have views that are based on those tables, as well as other objects such as stored procedures and functions. You can drill down into each of these objects and examine the properties that belong to them. Let's go ahead and do that with tables. Expand the Tables node. Here, I see a list of tables that are available in the Northwind database. I can go further than just looking at the tables. I can go ahead and add tables. Go ahead and right-click on the Tables node. I can go ahead and add a table directly from my designer. This way, I don't have to go back and forth and Alt-tab between screens, between my Server Explorer in Visual Studio or my SQL Server Manager. I can also drill down into the table columns. Let's go ahead and do that. Expand the Categories table. Here, I can look at the category ID, category name, and all the other properties that belong to the Categories table. I can also look at Stored Procedures. Let's go ahead and expand that node. Here I see a list of stored procedures that are available. One of these stored procedures allows me to look at records for a customer. It's called Cust Order Hist. This stored procedure is the first stored procedure. Let's go ahead and work with this. In order to execute this stored procedure, all I have to do is right-click on it and select Execute. Because this stored procedure expects a parameter, I have the Run Stored Procedure dialog box. Here, I can go ahead and type in a value for this parameter. In this stored procedure, because it's retrieving orders for my customer, it's asking me for the primary key for that customer. I happen to know the primary key that I'd like to use, so I'll go ahead and type that in here. Once I've selected my value, I'll go ahead and select OK. If you look at the output box in the lower part of your screen, you can actually see the results from running your stored procedure. I returned the order history for my customer ALFKI, and it shows me all the products that this customer has ordered. As you can see, Visual Studio provides an easy way for managing your data in your databases.